Namaste. Today we are starting our lecture on Servlet technology. Servlet technology is used for creating web applications. In Java programming, whenever you need to create a web application, you can use Servlet technology. We use Servlet as a business logic. Now let us see what is Servlet. So, before moving further, we will see what are the points which will be covered in the Servlet technology in our lectures. First is what is Servlet, advantages of Servlet, applet Servlet comparison, life cycle of Servlet, working of Servlet, creating Servlets, and various methods for session tracking. So, first we will see what is Servlet. So, Servlet is nothing but just a Java code which used for extending the capabilities of the server. So, Servlet technology is used to create a web application. Servlet is an interface that must be implemented for creating any servlet. Basically, in Java, whenever we need to create a servlet class, we must implement the servlet interface. It means we have to implement all the methods which are in servlet interface. Servlet is a class that extends the capabilities of the servers and responds to the incoming request. It can respond to any request. Basically, Servlet is like a server. As we know that server working on the request response protocol, right? Whenever any request come in Servlet, then it will respond to that request. Servlet is a web component that is deployed on the server to create a dynamic web page. Servlet is executed on the server side. Next, advantages of Servlet, right? Whenever any request come into a Servlet, the web container creates the thread for each request. There are many advantages of thread over the process. Let us see what are they. That is, share a common memory area, lightweight, cost of communication is low, etc. So, there are other advantages too. Let us see what are they. Better performance, portability, robust, secure. Servlet provides a better performance because they are using threads. It is but obvious that threads performance is better than process working. Next is portability. Why it is portable? So because of the bytecode. Every Java code is compiled and then converted into a class file, means in a bytecode. So it is a portable. Robust. Servlets are robust because in servlets for execution JVM is responsible. JVM manages servlets, so we don't need to worry about the memory leak, garbage collection, etc. That's why we can say that servlets are also robust. Then servlets are secure also because they are created using the Java language. We all know that Java is a secure language because it is converted into a bytecode which is a non-readable format. So, these are the some advantages of servlets for creating web application. Next, let us see the basic functionality of a servlet. The basic functionality of servlet is same as a server. When server accept a request, it process on that request and give the response to that client. Here in diagram we can see that a client request for a page from the server, that is a step 1. Then after receiving the request, server process on this request and create a response. After generating the response, the server send client a response which is the desired web page, right? So this is the basic working of the servlet. So now let us see, there is a difference between applets and servlet, right? we have seen that the applets are the Java code which are used to create desktop applications or which are embedded into a web page, where servlets are Java code which are used to extend the capabilities of server. Let us see some other points. A Java applet is a small application which is written in Java and delivered to users in the form of bytecode. Right, this is the Java code, right, and then it is converted into bytecode and it is delivered to the user. Next, servlets. A servlet is a Java programming language class used to extend the capabilities of a server, which we have seen in previous slide. Applets are executed on client side. It is but obvious. Then about servlet. Servlets are executed on server side. Applets are user interfaces classes like AWT and Swing. For creating user interface in applets, we are using the different packages AWT and Swing. We are using different components from that like text box, labels, button, etc. In servlets, no user interface is required. In applets, it requires Java compatible browser for execution, whereas in Servlet, it accepts input from browser and generates response in the form of HTML page, JavaScript object or applets. Where in applets, security risk will be there as applet run on the client side. This is the reason why risk is there. Applets run on client side, whereas in servlets it is under server security. So these are the various difference between applets and servlets. There are many more differences in the terms of implementation. Whenever we implement servlet, we will see how it differs than applets. So in today's lecture, we have seen what is servlet technology, what are the advantages of servlet technology, how servlet works in the basically, and then the difference between applets and servlets. Now in the next lecture we will see the life cycle of servlet and then working of the servlets, means how the servlets work, means how the server receives the request, how it will process the request, and then how it will respond to that particular request. So today, concluding our lecture, we will just revise the definition of servlet, which will be helpful in our next lecture. Servlet is nothing but a Java class, right, that is used to create or extend the functionality of the servers. Okay, thank you.